Ooh, welcome back everybody. We are ready to progress to the final new area of the game. We have finally wrapped ourselves in the divine scent, so we can come back to this cave that was behind the corrupted monk and pray inside of this marriage palanquin for a cutscene. And we will finally arrive at the Divine Realm, which will pop a trophy for you if this is your first time playing this game. Unfortunately, I had technical difficulties, and I'm having to re-record this episode, so that trophy already popped on my account. But it's for reaching every area in the game. So drop down off of whatever this thing is, and turn around to find a pellet. And we will find a sculptor's idol on the other side of him. Jump over this. And we are immediately put into a major boss fight. Activate the sculptor's idol. This is a long boss fight and has terror damage involved, so equip any extra healing items you want. And your modeled purple gourd, we don't need divine confetti, so we can change that to the pacifying agent. Or no, we don't, because that's what the modeled purple gourd does. So tell you what, let's change this to rice, which acts the same as pellets, just works better. Change this to divine grass, and change this to the modeled purple gourd. Or we could change one of these to the bundled Jesus statue in case we die. Which we might. Okay. But this boss fight is the same as the corrupted monk. And as such, she has the same moveset with the large swings of the Naginata that you can deflect, and low swings and perilous stabs. The only difference is, instead of the easy single health bar that the corrupted monk had, the true monk has 3. One of the few bosses in the game to have more than 2 health bars. Which is why this fight is so long and requires so much healing items. When you get rid of her first health bar, she gains an attack where she enshrouds the area in mist and comes at you with like illusionary looking copies of herself that come in from all angles and swing at you. They're extremely hard to predict and hard to block since they're coming from both the front and the back. So the strategy is to simply run around until the attack ends. And on her third phase, she no longer does the mist attack, but she reveals her immortality when a centipede erupts from her neck. And she does gain the ability to effectively, she will pull back her left hand, your right, and throw bugs at you, which cause an insanely quick amount of terror buildup. And a red kanji appears over your head to signify that it's coming. We can dodge to the right of that attack, though, and pull off a free whirlwind slash to get some damage on her. Other than that, everything is the same as the original corrupted monk boss fight. So just employ the same strategies. You get an attack right away. Make sure you Mikiri counter the stab. It comes very quickly. She does that slam, you can pull up an attack. Oof. Attack. Block. She's gonna jump. Block. Attack. Jump over that. And we get the first death blow, and she immediately starts the mist attack on phase 2. So start running around, try to avoid the big swings coming from the illusions. Just running around in a circle, try to avoid those as best you can. They always come in groups of 3. And eventually the mist will dissipate and she'll go back to her normal attack pattern. Another strategy is to grapple among the trees to avoid it, but you don't want to stand still because her Naginata can still reach you. We can get phase 2 out of the way. So at least the mist attack is over. But she gets the centipede to burst from her neck. And we'll start doing this 5 swing attack more often. Which knocks you way back. And then there's the terror attack. So make sure you're stepping out of the way of that. Dodge to the right, and you can pull up an attack when you see it coming. Ah, broke my guard at the perfectly wrong time. She does gain this triple swing that if you block effectively, you can attack afterwards. Right there, and then we can attack. And attack. Oh, I did the wrong button. That's the biggest issue with the terror attack, is it builds up so quick it can kill you instantly. As always, be patient. And don't forget the Shinobi Execution. Which this time severs immortality with the mortal blade. And you get a trophy. And a memory. And the Dragon's Tally Board, which, as impressive as it looks, all it does is add divine confetti to a lot of the merchants. Might even be every merchant. And you get several thousand experience. So come back here to rest. Confront the memory. And now we actually have a good amount of sidetracking to do now that we have defeated the true corrupted monk. In order to unlock every ending at the end of our playthrough. Start by traveling to the Inner Sanctum. This is where the Divine Child of Rejuvenation was located in Senpo Temple. What we're going to do is we're going to cycle through eating rice, resting, and then getting rice back from the Divine Child. And repeat this process until her dialogue changes. So if you have any rice in your inventory, go ahead and use it. Request rice from the Divine Child. And if she apologizes, then that means you need to rest. And if she apologizes, that means you need to travel to a different location. And now we actually have some backtracking to do, now that we have defeated the true corrupted monk, in order to unlock one of the endings for this playthrough, in which we must travel back to the Inner Sanctum, which is where the Divine Child of Rejuvenation was at Senpo Temple. If you have rice in your inventory, you need to eat it. If you eat rice right now, you need to travel to a new location and back. Effectively reloading the area. Then talk to the Divine Child and request rice. We're gonna go through some loops of gaining rice from the Divine Child, eating it, traveling to a different location, traveling back here, and then talking to her again until her dialogue changes. So when you get this, eat it. Warp to any location. And then warp back to the Inner Sanctum. Talk to her again. Sometimes she falls asleep. Eat the rice. Leave and come back. This is annoying, but fortunately you don't have to do this too many times. to her again. And after the third time I think of doing this, she becomes sick.
巫女の死の
どうした？
大事それを
待て、顔色が
歯がかり
何か
では
わかっ
And she requests a persimmon, which you should have from earlier in Senpo Temple.
た。カキだ。
誠に
食え。
If you don't, you can buy them from the merchant in Shigundo in Senpo Temple,
甘く死の
だが
もうだ
わ
豊か
and you get a
礼を
rice
言いますいただいた柿よければ流
わかっ
and some rice for Kuro. So now we need to travel to deliver the rice. So go to Upper Tower Kuro's room. And deliver the rice.
戻ったか
はい。
あず
これを。
これは
はい。
そうよき
噛む。
噛む狼
は。
うん
なん
ならよし
よい。
Rest at the idol nearby. And Lord Kuro will have made a sweet rice ball for you.
さあ
は。これを。
おは先方さ
Actually, you get two, and you can eat one of them.
うまい。
You can talk to Lord Kuro again afterwards, but I don't think you have
う
to.
も。
である幼い平いずれ
And then travel back to the inner sanctum to tell the divine child what Lord Kuro thought. So walk up, talk to her.
巫女に
あ、もらっとても。そして
あ流意なん不死立ちそれ巫女の死
なんだ。
巫女様
苦労。
苦労いつか
Talk
巫女の
again.
死ようこそ
And now is when you can give her the Holy Tome Infested, which we got in the pond back at the temple grounds.
受け取れ。
それ
お主。
ありがとう受け取る
どうした。
私
Technically, you
まだ
can give it to her anytime, and it won't matter.
さようならあなた
After triggering the persimmon event and giving her the Holy Tome Infested, you can rest, and she will disappear. And in fact, she has gone to the Divine Realm where we fought the inner folding screen monkeys, the Halls of Illusion, not the Divine Realm. And you can find, again, if you sent Kataro here, he'll be right here. There's another monk right here that asks you to leave. But now we have the Divine Child meditating. So talk to her.
私はけれど皆そうこれを
おい。
おかげ
お
はいそれで竜
竜。
そう竜あるべゆえ竜にしただ
さだ。
先方寺
それは。
この先方寺の開祖体内くぐり巫女の死の
なん
これはゆえにもし
考え。
You find her talking to the other divine children, and admits that she knows of a way to achieve immortal severance without sacrificing anyone. But you need to find another holy tome from the High Priest of Senpo Temple. And he is back outside of the Halls of Illusion, and in fact is back at the main hall of Senpo Temple. So go back to the Sculptor's Idol, travel to Senpo Temple, main hall. And two things I want to mention. One, we're going to go to the cave where we found the Senpo esoteric text. But two, now that we have our mortal blade, you can put these priests down for good. You have to come up behind them though after they're dead and pull off another death blow. And that will kill them permanently. They only give 82 experience, but they drop lumps of fat wax, which is a good upgrade material. Make sure you do it quick before they resurrect. Now, they don't always drop fat wax, but they can. And they're easy enough to take care of. Alright. With them out of the way, let's continue forward. Yeah, don't forget that Straw Man is still wandering around here. And there's still the Senpo monk wandering around the stairs here. So let's pull him forward. And take care of him. Loot. Head on down here. And remember that we had these guys to take care of. Now that you are stronger, you can tear through their posture in one hit. But let's equip the Withered Red Gourd. There's another one around here somewhere. And there's some geckos. Oh, that's not a gecko. So with them gone, remember we can drop down this door, or we can come around here to ambush another centipede, I think. Bingo. Now we can drop down where there will be a waterlogged tunnel. And another room full of centipedes. And in the back of this room is the High Priest, holding the Holy Chapter Dragon's Return. So with that in hand, we can come all the way back to the idol, either by walking or by using the Homeward Idol. and travel back to talk to the Divine Child.
Miko no shi moshi
死
先
だ
拝見な蛇がそう私がその
お主
もちろん私生なミコの留飲
心
おそらく柿の
And she discovers that she can become a cradle for the dragon's heritage, thus ridding it from the world forever, but needs the fresh and dried fruit of the serpent, which, if you've been following this walkthrough, we have gotten both of those from the 2 giant snakes.
ミコの忍び
So simply talk and give the persimmons of the serpent to the Divine Child.
この柿と
ま
もちろんそうただあなたの時を
And she asks for some privacy. So come to the sculptor's idol and rest again. And you'll find the door has been closed, but we get an eavesdrop opportunity where it's apparent that the Divine Child does not feel so good. After all that, rest one more time, and the door is open, and we find the Divine Child back.
そこ
お主
ミコの私は手を
ああこれを
ひんやだから私この
And you get the Divine Child's frozen tears.
氷涙
はいおそらくは竜のなさすれ
Which is the item we've been looking for this whole time. That unlocks the final ending. One last thing I want to mention is that since you have the Mortal Blade, you could have actually done something ever since obtaining it. And that is, we can end Hanbei's miserable existence. This is completely optional, but it's very easy and it gives an item that you might find interesting. I do not, but you might.
そこもとの
So tell him of the Mortal Blade,
なら不死
and you can accept to end the curse of his.
承知形そこのああせ次
But you have to rest in order to trigger it. And now he will be crouched on the ground, prepared to end his life.
ようやく追い腹を切れな覚悟ああ承知さあ
So when the red dot pops up, pull the trigger. And he drops the Hidden Tooth, which is a reusable bite down. Which, if you remember, bite downs let you effectively kill yourself in the attempt to get your attackers to turn around, and then you can resurrect and backstab them. This is an endless version of that. Okay, thought so. So if you like the bite downs, then that item is great. But with all that done, let's head back to the Fountainhead Palace and continue our journey. Which we will next time. Until then, stay safe.